Starting us
All
off.
right.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Last time I checked, it was 85 degrees. It's probably hotter than that. It's partly cloudy. This weekend, it's supposed to get up to 87 degrees, and the low is 69. You are listening to Ingrid's International Hour. Last week, I had on Gracie Limbach, and she is from the Milwaukee Area Time Exchange, which is a nonprofit organization. And she actually pairs up people together to barter items for free without any money being exchanged. So, for example, if you wanted to take piano lessons, you could just call, actually be a part of this organization, and you can get those for free, and you would trade one of your services. You can call 414-305-9505 and talk to Debbie Davis. Today's question of the day is, or quote of the day is, "Reality is wrong, dreams are for real," by Tupac Shakur. Today on the show, I have Miss Valerie Lightheart. Hello, Valerie.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm phenomenal. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thanks for coming on the show. This is my second show. I'm really proud to be here at the River West Radio. Why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself?
Well, as was explained, my name is Valerie Lightheart. I'm very, very interested in film. I'm actually starting up my directorial debut in August. We're hoping to shoot in August. I'm not quite sure when the release date is estimated, considering that we're still in the casting process.
Okay, cool.
But I like to think of myself an expressionist of sorts. I kind of just release creatively through any possible venue.
Okay, and you would use film to do that right now?
Definitely. I think film's actually one of the most accurate depictions of those little pictures running rampant inside everyone's skull.
And what type of genre of movies do you make?
Well, the one I'm working on right now I classify kind of as a dark comedy, considering that it consults deeper issues.
Okay.
But the characters are quite hilarious. They've got a light-hearted, funny tone to them.
Pun intended.
Yes.
And then, have you worked in any other film ventures?
Well, I actually just finished doing production assistant work on a television show called Poems of the Washerwoman.
Wow. Okay. And what was that like?
That was really interesting. I've been behind the scenes on television before, but I was actually quite young. I was like 10. But it was the first where I had a real job actually doing something, and I was volunteering, but it was still just great experience to have, working with actors and set dressing and just kind of getting my hands really in with everything that goes into these projects.
Okay. And then, so did you ever act in any of these ventures, or?
I do have an interest in acting, but I don't have very much acting experience because, I don't know, I guess casting directors don't like me.
Well, they're lost. So you say you're an expressionist.
Yes.
Name some of these ways that you express yourself.
I write a considerable amount. It's almost a daily catharsis for me just to sit down and write at least a paragraph. It kind of keeps me sane.
And then do you keep a blog or anything?
Not really. I mostly write books, so I look to get published when I finish them, but so few are actually done.
Okay, and how many books have you started?
A lot. Admittedly, I'd say beyond 30.
Wow.
The majority of... Oh, sorry, did I interrupt?
No, go right ahead.
The majority of them, like the major ones I'm working on, have over 100 pages.
Okay.
But I like, personally, to write in different viewpoints than what's traditionally popular. Like, I have done traditionally popular things because, like, sometimes ideas just strike me. But I like to write in the point of view of small children a lot.
Okay, that's interesting.
Like 5 and 6 year olds. And my mother kind of She's like, these kids sound way too intelligent. A 5-year-old would not be using that type of vocabulary.
Why not?
Exactly. Like, well, maybe they're geniuses.
So describe one of your books. Like, bring us inside this book. Show us the depth of your writing.
All right. Let me pick one mentally. Well, there's 4 that I'm working on that have, like, over 200 pages in them. Mm-hmm. And one is centered around a young girl, usually, like I said, I write in the perspective of children, but it's actually centered around a 14-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. And it's about the dynamic, first and foremost, the familial dynamic, the mother, father, son, but the dysfunctional familial dynamic when what's supposed to be comforting flips on its head.
Okay.
So her best friend John, and this I wrote a really long time ago, actually, I think like 2 years ago, but it's the only one I've ever finished.
Okay.
And her best friend John has issues with his father because he's abusive. And then there's Mikey, whose mother died when he was very young, and his father's become an alcoholic as a product of his mother's death.
Okay.
So Mikey's a very, very angry, vicious character, and he yells at people a lot for no reason at all. And then there's Catherine, whose parents fight constantly.
Okay.
And because she's constantly faced with that bickering and she never wants to be involved in it, she's taken the role of a dormant human being, and she's very, very quiet, very, very suppressed.
Wow.
And the 3 children actually witness a murder one day.
Okay.
And it scars them so, and it just tips Catherine a little bit over the edge to the point where she starts suffering from repressed memories.
Okay.
And she's getting these awful physical symptoms, and she gets taken to a psychotherapist, and she's mostly afraid of Mikey. She's afraid of actually reaching the point of a breakthrough to where she reveals what happens through hypnotherapy.
Okay.
Because she's afraid that if she reveals it, she'll be expected to go to court, and Mikey will beat her up.
Right. So she's scared.
She's very scared.
What will be revealed. I'm so into this book. It's so good.
Thank you. I can send you a copy of it.
Okay, awesome. And does it have a name?
The Bad Kids.
The Bad Kids.
It's about the internal struggle that causes rebellion. Because rebellion's one of my favorite topics to dwell on. But there's such a beauty to it. It's not just rebellion. There's always that cause. There's always that tipping point, whether it be revolutionary purposes like reforming the world to a better society,
right,
or just trying to break away from a cage.
Exactly.
Some kind of seeking of freedom, the pursuit of the earthly heaven.
Wow.
Thank you.
And then, okay, how about you take us to another book that you're working on?
I'm working on another book called Underage, which is about the misperceptions around how old people are and how young people are.
Okay.
And
describe that.
It's centered around... These are the ones I started a while ago. That's why they have more than 200 pages, because I've been working on them for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And this one's also about a young teenage girl who lived with her father her whole life because her mother abandoned her and her younger brother.
Okay.
But through a twist of events, she has to live with her mother and her mother's new family. And she's very, very resentful to all of them because she feels like her mother left them for the other family.
Okay.
So she hates her mother and she lashes out all the time. And her mother kind of just takes it because she knows she did wrong.
So she takes the abuse.
In a way, yes.
Wow. Okay.
And then she actually falls in love with this older fellow.
Okay. The teenager.
Yeah, she falls in love with a guy who's 23, and he thinks she's older because she never specifies. But at the climax, he finds out.
Trouble,
yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah, one I just started that I'm really, really passionate about is I really don't have much plot developed, but what I have so far, idea-wise, is that it's centered around this 17-year-old boy, and he has familial issues. I focus a lot on the dysfunctional family paradigm just because I find it so entertaining because it's relatable. It's worldwide. Sure. Everyone has family issues.
Everybody has family, so
exactly.
Or family issues. Okay.
And he's kind of a misanthrope, so he just hates everyone. So because of that, he actually stops living at home and starts living behind this gas station.
Okay.
Because he he has this bad habit of lashing out constantly against his mother specifically.
So he just lives by the garbage can?
Yeah.
Okay, poor guy.
Yeah, he enjoys it though, actually. It's his favorite place to be.
Freedom. Okay, right.
The freedom of not being tied to anyone or anything. And then he actually visits his mother regularly because the reason he doesn't live with her is because he knows he can't control himself from screaming at her and emotionally battering her.
Wow. So he's doing her a favor.
Exactly. And he stays with her every once in a while. And there's a family function coming up, and none of the rest of the family knows that he doesn't live there anymore. So he has to attend. And there's going to be a large series of events specifically regarding one of his cousins who spent the last 4 years in a mental hospital for self-mutilation.
Wow.
And they grew up together. They were best friends for as long as either of them can remember. And I'm not quite sure what the climax is going to be. Usually I identify that first, but not in this particular piece.
Well, it can have a twist. You never know what will happen.
Yeah.
So you said you had, like, how many books in the making?
Probably over 30.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
What other talents you say you have?
I'm really into directing.
Okay.
Like I said, I think film is so pure and concentrated. And right now my biggest obsession is the film I'm working on. I'm in the casting process. I'm very excited about it. We're actually holding more auditions Monday and Tuesday at Feronia Wellness Center in Germantown.
Yeah. Give us directions how to get there, what you're looking for. You know, there's plenty of people listening that could, you know, possibly send people your way.
That would be great. Right now we're still mostly looking for the cast, mainly all the main characters, besides one but she's already cast, are teenage boys. Okay. So we're still looking for a lot of those, because I've noticed that mostly teenage boys in my community, which is where I've advertised mostly, are ostracized if they decide to act.
Wow. But acting is a real profitable business to be in.
In my town, it's sports all over, and it's quite sad, actually, but everything is sports.
So basically, like, the arts might be frowned upon out there, and then maybe, like, being more of a jock type, you're saying, is more acceptable?
Yeah.
Wow.
The arts are kind of suffocated. We have a very low budget. We have very little support. And it's the community. It's so small town. It's quite disappointing.
And what town is this?
Germantown.
Okay.
I mean, like, there are highlights of Germantown, but as a whole, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this without sounding like I hate everyone in my town, because I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
You didn't say that.
I think a lot of the people are great.
With a smile on your face.
Yeah, a lot of the people are great. The individuals are great. It's the school system, I think, because there's so much heavy emphasis on sports with budget and so little in theater.
Wow. Well, that's something to bring up at the next school board meeting, you know.
Yeah.
So you're saying that now you're expanding your horizons on who you're looking at, right? Mm-hmm. And so tell us about these characters, so maybe someone that's acting out there could get a hold of you for a part. So describe these characters that you're looking for. Well,
the plot focuses mostly upon this 17-year-old boy named Alex.
Okay.
Who's very, very intense. He's playful, but he's intense. He's impulsive. He's reckless. Mm-hmm. And he gives into self-indulgent behavior more often than not. Like, he just has these bad ideas, and he acts on most all of them.
So he's like an angry teenage guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one character. And then what do you think his demeanor is like more?
Well, he's hyper intelligent,
Okay.
so it's a bit superior.
Okay.
Like, he goes to school and he thinks to himself, all these people are idiots.
Okay, good. Good. That's a good description.
And if I could compare him to anything, I would compare him to Ezra Miller circa Beware the Gonzo, which is one of my favorite films. I actually took a lot of inspiration for my film from that film. It's great.
Okay, good. And then what's another character that you're looking for?
I'm looking for a character to play. Right now, a lot of the roles, I have a few people who are definitively going to be cast.
Right, but you can still clue us in.
Yeah. So one of the other roles that's almost definitely filled, but
Okay.
there's still room to move everything around, is Ryan.
Okay.
And he kind of has battered dog syndrome because his father's abusive.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he's very cynical. He's very angry. He mothers Alex because they're best friends, and he takes care of him. And like, Alex's parents are very laissez-faire, so Ryan is kind of the one who makes sure he's tucked into bed at night.
Okay. So he's like a soft-hearted gentleman.
Yeah, but he's got a very, very tough exterior. He's very angry. He doesn't really accept people very quickly.
Okay.
And he doesn't really like anyone outside of their little friend group, and he's goth. Like, if I could compare what I have him in mind to anything, it would probably be Kyle Gallner circa Jennifer's Body.
Okay. Okay. Any other characters, like the leading actress?
Well, the female role, that's another role that's almost definitively filled, but it's still up for grabs.
Okay.
Is the role of Jack. In my mind, I have her visioned as like this beautiful goddess of a woman. Like, she's got this beautiful face and this mysterious aura and kind of this powerful presence. But even though she has all these great qualities, she still pales under Alex, because Alex is such a marvel to see. He's so eloquent, he's so articulate, he's so intense, he's so well-spoken and demanding of attention that just by walking into a room, everybody turns.
Wow, okay. So, quite the star, the shining person.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other characters you're looking for?
We're also looking for Leo, he's one of the comic relief characters. He's kind of short, he's plucky, he's very, very funny. He doesn't really have any issues. He's just kind of funny.
Okay.
He's comic relief.
Okay.
And there's also Spencer, who's very, very nerdy and very, very introverted and quiet.
Okay.
And he's been bullied a lot, so that's kind of why he's quiet.
Okay.
And Spencer and Ryan are actually in love, but none of them are open about it
Okay.
because of what's like expected of them, and Ryan's father, and they don't even admit it to each other. It's just a very
like
pungent
Is
thing.
it like an unknown known between the both of them?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's an
okay.
unknown known. Like, everybody knows that they're really into each other, but neither of them are willing to admit it.
Yes. Okay.
Well, it's admitted at a point in the film, but
Okay.
not quite yet.
Wow. Really descriptive.
Thank you.
So do you have any thing you can tell us, like some type of writings that you have off in your mind, you could say?
Oh, like recite something?
Sure.
I actually can pull something up. I have a speech from the film that I can present.
Okay.
I can speak it.
speak.
Speak. The speech in and of itself is centered around politics.
Okay.
Because Alex is also very politically minded. He's kind of a revolutionary of sorts. In some ways, he's kind of an exaggerated, extremely so, very, very exaggerated
Okay.
reflection of some pieces of myself,
Okay.
admittedly, because with authors and writers, all characters are really a reflection of yourself.
Isn't that the truth?
Just have to find it. Where did I put it? Oh, wait, was that? Oh. I hope this is entertaining. Rah. Rah, rah, rah.
You're funny.
Thank you. I try.
Okay, so you want me to talk while you're getting that stuff done?
Oh, I actually have it right here.
Okay, there we go, see?
But a lot of the themes that the film deals with is, as all my writing deals with, familial dysfunction themes. There's a lot of political themes.
Okay.
It says a lot about the repression of many people in today's society, like how everyone thinks we have these great freedoms when we don't.
Right. Exactly.
Especially concerning the LGBT community.
Okay. I agree.
All right. So it's a bit lengthy.
Go for it.
This country has fought for equality far too long for it to fold in on its own inhabitants. People have fought too hard for too long to see issues like student rights, minor rights, and gay marriage go on the back burner. Because face it. Oh, by the way, sorry. I have to interrupt quick. In this, he actually leads a protest across the street from his school and gets a lot of people to come and have their parents call them in sick to protest the lack of rights kids have in schools nowadays, because I've had this argument with so many of my teachers that it's wrong, straight down wrong, that the individual's Bill of Rights is completely stripped from them upon walking in the school. There are kids in middle schools being strip searched.
Exactly.
With no legal repercussions to the staff. Our First Amendment right, first and foremost, is completely
And if you don't
killed.
stand up for the rights, you won't have any.
Exactly.
So, okay.
All right.
You can start over.
All right. So he's leading a protest outside of school. This is his speech.
Okay.
This country has fought for equality far too long for it to fold in on its own inhabitants. People have fought too hard for too long to see issues like student rights, minor rights, and gay marriage go on the back burner. Because face it, this isn't just about a bunch of kids not going to school. This isn't your senior skip day. This is protesting the corruption in the government. This is a declaration to everyone who tries to oppress us. They wake us up too early. They pump our bodies with chemicals, vaccines, fluoride, mercury. And then they detain us in that holding cell of a desk for 8 hours a day. They not only trap you mentally, they trap you physically. They tell you, you can't get up. They tell you, you have to graduate. They tell you, you have to get a real job. They tell you, you have to be like everyone else. And you know what the sick part is? We start to believe it. We start to believe it. And that makes us, as minors, second-class citizens. We are second-class citizens, trapped, tortured, and unknowingly drugged the majority of the day. Well, you know what? We have the power. They don't. Being here, standing on this land right here, proves that we have the power. We are inside of the school, skipping, doing something we are not supposed to do, and they can't do anything about it because we have the power. They don't, but they want it. Oh, they want it. So they try to convince you that you don't have any. They pound the idea that you don't have the power into your head all day, 5 days a week. Take today, at least today, to show them that you do. Take your lives to show them that you do. Defy authority at every given spot. Let them, make them know that you are an individual and you are not ruled by any others. You are ruled by yourself. Do whatever you want. Take back your power, because really, that's what all these idiotic policies boil down to. The government is spending thousands of dollars that could be used feeding starving children or solving homelessness on keeping you in that desk 8 hours a day and making sure you stay docile with poisoning the water and making sure you're too sluggish to move by putting pesticides in the food and making sure by use of police force that you don't cause too much trouble. Think about the big issues nowadays. America has stopped worrying about the welfare of its people and turned to oppressing them, making sure minors don't have rights, making sure gay people can't marry. These inalienable human rights, as written by the Constitution, are legally under siege every day. Every day you are tested. Every day they try to break you and suck out any semblance you have left that you can live freely. gay people can't marry. I know that's not what this protest is about, but how ridiculous is that? The government is wasting your money and your parents' money and your grandparents' money, not on feeding the homeless. No, they laugh at the notion. No, not on feeding the homeless, but making sure that every last one of you has no rights. We've cleared blocks as a society surrounding race, culture, and religion, but have we cleared blocks regarding humanity? No. We chastise, criticize, and spit upon Nazi Germany, but that's what we are. As long as we have poisoned water, restriction in schools, and illegal marriage, we are nothing as a country. And there's always that one idiot in the audience that blindly defends everything our oppressive government does because their brother, uncle, sister, grandma fought in a war. That doesn't mean it should have happened. How do they even justify it? It's wrong. They said the lie again and again and again. And you know what? Everyone believed it. You know what Hitler said? Hitler said, how fortunate for governments that people they administer don't think. You're not thinking, he said. Make the lie big. Make the lie simple, keep saying it, and eventually they will believe it. Day in, day out, everyone believes it. You're not thinking. You're not going through the motions of educating yourself. How can you expect to avoid the lie if you don't even bother looking for the truth? Cable television, subliminal messaging, newspapers, news stations, everything. Think about what you're seeing. I'm not saying all of it's wrong. I'm saying most people don't know the difference. They don't know the difference because they choose to be uneducated. If it's even mildly, subliminally oppressive, it's the lie. If it encourages you to turn on your fellow man, it's the lie. Avoid the lie at all costs.
Take that. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. High five on that one.
Yes.
You covered so many different topics in there.
Yeah, like, it was originally longer, actually. It confronted topics like 9/11. Mm-hmm. It confronted topics like all these ridiculous wars America feels the need to step into, even though it's, first of all, it's none of our business. And second of all, the draft, first of all. I don't even understand how in the 50s and 60s America could even call itself free when it's basically demanding...
Forcing you to go kill people.
Exactly. It's either forcing you to kill people or it's forcing you to get slaughtered. That's not free.
Right, exactly.
It's scary. It's a slippery slope.
You don't have to go sign up.
Right? Actually, do you have any other things you want to read?
I could.
Go for it.
I have some...
Set it up for us.
I have some writings on my phone. Let's see if I have anything I can actually read. A lot of it has, profanity.
No, we can't have that.
Yeah, we can't have profanity in this. Not allowed.
Beep.
Beep, beep. What?
Well, I'll do a couple shout outs while you are looking to that. I want to give a shout out to Tammy Vest for graduating, to Brandy Jones, her baby showers this weekend. Congratulations to Brian and Jessica Ebert on the birth of their child, Ella. Happy birthday to Jennifer Munt. Happy birthday to Scott Summers. Happy birthday to Dominique. Are you ready?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
This is, I can just read this. It's very short. An excerpt from one of the novels I'm reading. This is actually in the point of view of the homeless teen.
Okay.
Living behind the gas
The
station.
garbage can.
Yeah. Also, he's supposed to be hyper intelligent. I make almost all of my characters extremely intelligent because I base a lot of value on it. I don't know. I think
that's a good thing. Why have stupid, dumb characters when you can make them extremely smart?
Exactly.
And save the day.
Yeah. I don't know. In my personal opinion, most of society tries to appear less intelligent than they actually are.
And that's a shame.
And it's a darn shame. Mm-hmm. Especially teenage girls.
So they dumb themselves down to look cool.
Oh, yeah, they think it's attractive, and I don't know why.
Right. I actually find intelligence more appealing.
Like Me too. I find intelligence extremely appealing, like, especially people who are very articulate and eloquent. I find that very attractive, and I don't know why.
I know why, because it's actually people using what's between their ears,
Exactly.
right? All right, give it to us.
All right. This is a small excerpt from when he's sitting in the car with his mother. This is when he goes to visit her, and they're discussing the oncoming family reunion. I mean, it's not like any of them even like me, I defended, enunciating with my black sleeved covered wrists. I grasped my sleeves up in my fists the way I always do. That's not true, Pamela replied, wiping the pale pink lipstick off the sides of her mouth in the mirror. Emily likes you. Emily was my oldest friend. She was... What? Sorry.
Go closer, it's cool.
Oh, go closer?
Yeah.
All right. Emily was my oldest friend. She was my age and we'd grown up together until we were about 14 and she checked herself into a mental hospital for self-mutilation. That's when we kind of stopped talking. She called me once a week for a few weeks. I never answered. I try not to think about it. Is Emily coming back this year? I asked, my curiosity piqued by her arrival and my rampant anxiety as she was being aroused within the pit of my stomach as to just how to explain myself when she came back. She was released 6 months ago. You'd know that if you ever came home, dear, she replied, smiling a little bit. She didn't say it accusatorily. She said it jokingly with a benign smile. It still angered me. Well, maybe if you knew how to control your kids, or maybe, actually parent, we wouldn't have this problem. Please stop, she said quietly. Sorry, it's just that everything you say angers me. I apologize sincerely. In truth, I dislike hurting her. I just can't stop myself. That's why I can't live with you. I can't live with anyone.
That was good.
Thank you.
So tell us more about this character. What is she going through?
His name is... Well, actually, his name is Alice. Mm-hmm.
But his name is Alice. I'm sorry. I see you play with the gender with the names, because what was your character before? And I thought it was a woman, but it was a... So Alice is a man.
Yeah, but he calls himself Elliot because he's very, very ashamed that his name is Alice. He was beat up on the playground for it.
For being called Alice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I caught that.
So he calls himself Elliot, and so far the only thing I've written is like the opening where he's in a gas station and just looking around, and this girl keeps trying to talk to him, but she's like inappropriately young, so he's like walking away because he's 17 and she's like 13.
Mm-hmm. That would be a good movie, though.
Thank you. Speaking of my film, I'm so excited about it. Literally, when I started writing this, I missed like 2 weeks of school.
Why?
Just to write the script. I was that passionate about it. It was that powerful. It gripped me that hard that I couldn't be forced to do anything else.
So you wrote every single day?
Every single day.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah, it started to equal around 261 pages, and then that's when I knew I had to cut it down, because with script writing it's about a minute a page.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
so I couldn't make a 261 minute film, so right now it's 141 pages, which,
and that's not bad,
is a leap for me personally as a creator of this project. So much had to be cut out, but so much is gonna have to be cut out, and it's sad, but we can't all make 3-hour movies.
Right. Wow.
Those they just wouldn't sell.
You can make sequels.
That's true.
You know what? Actually, you should make it the way you want, and then, have them wanting more.
It's true. It's a good idea.
The trilogy. Really cool. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
So what are your goals?
My goals. My goals really are to express myself however possible.
Okay.
Just through the way I dress, through the way I speak, through film, through writing, through drawing, which I do avidly. I'm an avid drawer. Every portion of my notebooks or papers are just filled.
With what?
I'd call them doodles, but they're not. They're very intricate pictures. They're like usually people, like faces. I draw a lot, and trees.
I love trees.
Me too. Nature is the ultimate refuge.
So true. And with your writing, where do you want to get published, or what's your focus with that?
I'm hoping to get published. That might be nice, just to show people, like, hey, look, I got published.
Right.
I express myself, and it makes money.
Well, there's different types of groups out here that would publish some of your works that I know of.
That would be great if you could give me some contact information.
I definitely will, and also people that are listening, they can get a hold of me, and then I could forward that to you.
Yeah, anybody listening, publish me, or audition for my film, something.
Right? Right? That would be cool. Your characters are have so much depth, and they're colorful. That somebody's out there that's an actor's like, that's me. I could play that character. So. Definitely somebody will, if I hear anything, I'll definitely let you know.
Thank you.
Sure.
I can also give the listeners my email.
Okay, go for it.
If they want to contact me directly. It's Valerie, Valerie, Lighthart, Lightthart, @gmail.com.
Okay, cool. And, if it's about the film or some type of career moves for you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Publishing your book.
By the way, I love being on the show. It's a great experience. Thank you for having me.
No, I'm thankful for having you.
Thank you, madame.
Okay, and what school do you go to?
GHS, Germantown High School.
Okay, and then, so you're saying that their arts category is lacking?
It's not necessarily lacking because the people that are involved are some of the best people I've ever met. They're honestly, everyone in that program is fantastic. It's the budget that's lacking.
The budget is lacking.
The work isn't lacking. Everyone involved is extremely dedicated. I've actually talked to a few people, including myself, who say that they would not attend the school if not for the theater program, because the people involved are that dedicated and that emotionally hooked by it, and it's just great.
They're just noticing our show, that's all. And let's see. Let's talk about the weekend.
All right.
What do you plan on doing this weekend?
This weekend? Tomorrow, I'm trying to convince my mother to let me go to Pride Fest.
I was actually going to talk about that. Pride Fest starts today. Belinda Carlisle is going to be there tomorrow. It's Taylor Dane. And then Sunday, it's Berlin.
Nice.
The tickets are $15. And for a weekend pass, it's $25. Also, we have Locust Street Days, which will be on Sunday. It's between the blocks of 600 and 1000 East Locust. There will be food and people walking around with their snakes and tattooed folks all out. It's also the 36th annual River West Beer Run that starts at 11:30.
Will it be any other days than Sunday? Because I'm going to my brother's graduation and rehearsing to dance in Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, when are you doing that? When does Fiddler on the Roof come out?
I think it's sometime in August. It's a play through Imagination Theater, which is a Germantown program. And it's great. It's really fun to be involved in. I've only been to one meeting thus far due to scheduling conflicts, but I'm very excited. It's great.
Okay, so your enthusiasm is still there for it?
I'm a big theater nerd. I'm really a geek about, everything I get into. If I'm into something, I'm so ridiculously enthusiastic about it.
That's good. Have you ever went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show down here?
I haven't gone, but I love Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You should definitely go. You would enjoy yourself. It's like...
I want to.
That's her favorite movie over there. This is Shannon, by the way.
Hello, Shannon.
So,
the funny thing at my school, actually, is in the theater program, Rocky Horror Picture Show is huge. Everybody loves it. You could stand backstage and start singing the Time Warp and doing the dance, and everyone will join along.
They're like, yeah!
Like flash mob, let's do the Time Warp again.
Right. Okay, so if I was a doctor, I would prescribe for you, to go see that. I
want to.
Yeah, you should go. You'd enjoy it. I was saying that the beer run starts at 11:30. Also, June 22nd, I am a featured artist at the summer solstice at the Dominion Gallery, which is at 804 East Wright. So come on down and you could buy my art. It starts at 7, by the way.
I'll try to come. I'll see if I can be there.
It's
Sounds
on
great.
a Friday night. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, let me see what we got here. Let me finish out my shout-outs.
Alright.
Shout out to Amanda Knox if I didn't before. Happy birthday to Lola Powell. She turned 7 years old today.
Oh, it's adorable. My
Yep.
little sister's 7.
Cool. Also, shout out to Matt Doherty, to Shannon Powell, and to you. I'm really glad that you came on my show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. It's great.
Okay. So, let's see what other things you want to talk about with your film.
My film, there's a lot to do on my film. Right
Okay.
now I'm in the process of looking at editor's work and cinematographer's work. And
Okay.
cinematography is just so interesting because of what it represents in film. Really, it's the perception
Right.
through which people see it. Like color and vividness and...
Or the lack of color.
Exactly. One of my favorite films, cinematography-wise, is actually The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things, which I just showed you when
Right.
we walked in here.
Right.
I love the cinematography in that film. It's so unconventional and jarring, and really it goes beyond the norm.
Okay.
Like, it
I
doesn't...
haven't seen it, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
So good. It's so good.
What other films do you enjoy?
My favorite movies, I'm a cinephile, so I kind of have like 7.
Okay, go for
Like,
it.
film is my greatest appreciation. Lately, I've been really into this film called Beware the Gonzo, which actually inspired many aspects of the film I'm working on right now.
Okay.
It's got Ezra Miller, Zoe Kravitz, who's Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Okay.
If you know who that is.
Yeah.
That great movie. It centers around the whole revolutionary concept. It's about this guy who gets kicked off of his school paper and starts a revolution at his high school. And the actor who plays the lead character, Ezra Miller, is actually one of my personal role models.
Okay.
He's my idol of sorts.
That's okay to admire somebody for their works.
Just, he's such a great actor.
Okay.
And he's eloquent. He's got the articulate thing.
Okay, that's why you appreciate him. Okay.
So many people lack that. It's just impressive to see it. Like, most of my favorite artists and, like, comedians and singers and actors have that eloquent thing. And that's what makes me love them. Like,
They have to have it, right?
yeah, they have to be articulate. They have to use a lot of large words and speak well.
Otherwise, you're just like meathead.
Exactly. Otherwise, it's bland language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and another film that you really enjoyed watching?
I really enjoy Peter Pan from
Now, the
2003.
musical or?
The film, the live action film, the only live action film actually to have a real boy playing Peter Pan. Throughout all of history, it's always been a female dressed as a guy
Okay.
that's played him. But this is the first live action where they have an actual boy, and it's great. Do you believe in spirit guides?
Sure do.
Well, supposedly one of my spirit guides is very much like him, so over the years I've developed this acute interest in all things surrounding Peter Pan, like the book, the movie. The book's actually one of my favorites. It's great. It's one of the classics if you've ever read.
So he's more like a fairy type?
Yeah, he's kind of like an elf fairy.
Elf.
Like,
Okay.
the thing is that supposedly when children, young boys specifically, fall out of their perambulators, which is the little push strollers, as infants and they get lost, they take them to Kensington Gardens, and if they're not found in 7 days, they get shipped to the Neverland.
Okay.
So that's the whole process. And that's how the Lost Boys got there. That's how Peter got there. And then, you know how Wendy and John and Michael got there.
They flew.
They flew. They rode the winds back.
I don't know if I would have took that first step out that window.
I would have.
You would have?
I would have leapt, but I'm also quite impulsive. I might even leap out the window anyway. Who knows?
Go for it. Okay.
As long as there's a trampoline under. Or like something to break the fall, like maybe just a mattress or two.
Okay.
Unless there's
We'll make
pixie
sure we
dust.
provide that for you.
All right, thank you. I will jump out the window if there's like
On the set.
mattresses.
You just imagining this is on the set, and then it's that breakaway glass.
Yeah, you suddenly see a girl falling. She tumbles from the sky. It's a flash of red shirt and bam.
Right? Cut.
We did it wrong. She died.
Right.
Let's try again.
Now it's a reality show.
Oh yeah, that'd be one scary reality show.
So, what do you believe in spiritually? You said that you believe in spiritual guides.
I actually have a very intricate belief system. I don't believe in God.
Okay, what do you believe in?
I believe in the individual. I think that in your soul lies the power to do anything. Just anything imaginable. I mean, because, like, through historical events, I've pieced this together because, like, maybe if there was a God, the Holocaust wouldn't have happened. Or, like, this wouldn't have happened and this wouldn't happen. But because the individual is so powerful, they are God. I think every single person is God in a way.
Okay.
So I think everything in your life is manifestation, and the only thing that stops you from getting what you want is a belief that you can't have it.
Now, I believe that.
Yeah, exactly. And so many people lock themselves into that idea that the entity that they're trying to acquire is separate from themselves, which
When
is...
It's one and the same.
Exactly. It's
So
a falsehood.
actually, I believe you believe in God. You just don't believe it's the way society believes in God.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a man in the sky dictating. I think
It's
it's
self.
yeah, it's self.
It's inner.
God is you.
Right. I agree with that.
God is you, God is me, God is her, God is everyone over there.
God is.
I've also been toying with the idea that God is love.
God is love.
Because I've heard that a lot. And it's an interesting concept,
Okay.
considering the tumultuous emotions involved in love. And I know I'm young, but everyone knows what love is. I think the younger you are, the more pure it is, and therefore the more powerful
because you
it
haven't
is.
been so scorned.
Exactly, because you're not yet jaded. The younger you are, the more perfect love is.
Right. I agree with that.
So I think I know what love is, and I think it might actually be God. I think God might be love. And I do believe in an afterlife, but I believe it's self-inflicted. I think if you think you deserve hell, you get hell, and if you think you deserve heaven, you get heaven.
That's a positive way to look at it, though.
Yeah, it's all based upon opinions.
I believe in cause and effect. You know, if you're a good person, good things will happen to you. You know,
Yeah.
but if you're bitter and negative and disrespectful, you know, how can you expect to have anything good come to you when that's all you're submitting to the universe?
Oh yeah, I believe in karma. I believe what you put out, you receive. So I'm a believer in karma, spirit guides, a universal flow of things. Like, to every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Exactly.
And it's
just
figuring
like
out how to
how,
manipulate those.
just how, you know, we're here at this particular part of in our lives and at this particular piece of time. You know, it'll never happen again. So I believe in time, space, reality. I really love Albert Einstein too.
Albert Einstein's great. Albert Einstein's. I read the best Einstein quote the other day about how everything's the same entity and manifestation. And I was like, oh, that coincides with my belief system. I like that.
Right?
Honestly, I think there are aspects of common religion that I don't necessarily agree with, like the idea that someone else is wrong and that's what makes you right, or that this person has to be deemed bad for you to be deemed good. I think it's all just warped perception. I think that anything that encourages you to hate on your fellow man should be abolished.
That's true.
I believe in peace and love, like John Lennon.
Me too. That's how I live my life, you know.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go for it.
I was actually, my brother made this Prezi the other day about how the novel 1984 is starting to resemble today's universe with the ideals that war is peace.
Right.
And it just reminded me saying I like peace. But I'm not a supporter of war. And I think the idea that we have to be at war to be at peace.
To bring peace is
Exactly.
is so ignorant.
It's so ignorant. It's like,
Because war creates pain and bitterness and separation.
and this common distrust.
Right.
Like the whole common enemy to United Nation ideas. It's not okay.
Right.
Like, so many wars happen because people think that if we hate this, then we're closer together. But no, you're not. You're not closer together if you both hate the same thing. It just means you both hate the same thing. And it's not good to hate anything.
Right. And organized religion causes a lot of pain.
Exactly. Like, especially with people who are very, very stick-to-itive about everything that's in there. Like, about how gay people can marry and every other religion deserves to be doomed to eternal damnation.
Right,
And it's
right.
not okay.
When there's no openness, you know, I consider myself a person that believes in God. But I also respect the Buddhist religion.
Oh, I respect Buddhism a lot.
Yeah, I like Taoism a lot. You know, there's things that I actually live in my life, use in my life from different religions. You know. So this is something that I'm really proud of. I'm really proud that you came.
Thank you. If you ever need me back,
Hey, you could come back anytime.
I would love to. just contact me. Here's
Right.
my number.
Okay, so I have in closing a quote. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams, which is by Eleanor Roosevelt.
That's beautiful.
So, tell me about the play that you have coming up. We have like a few more minutes.
All right. We're expecting to shoot sometime in July or August. Like I said, we're still in the casting process. We're assembling crew members, gaffers, electricians. Right now, we really, really need a boom pole operator.
Okay.
That's the main thing because it's a specialist, and the equipment that we're getting, we have insurance on it.
Right.
And insurance is expensive.
Right. So you want somebody that knows what they're doing.
Exactly. Yes.
That's really good.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to people the other day who want to get involved in the project and like help out and lend their equipment, and it's so amazing how really a film like this on such a small, almost even non-existent budget
Yeah.
can just come together purely from networking. Because we have everything we need just from networking on no money whatsoever.
Right. Just
I
come
haven't spent a
together.
dime yet.
Just come together and see it bloom into a beautiful movie. You know, I'm
Exactly.
really hopeful for this. If you need any of my help, you know, I would love
All right.
to, you know, get involved in this. Keep us posted on how this
definitely
film
will.
is going.
I think art is the common good,
Exactly.
and therefore it should be
Okay. well,
blooming.
boom.
Boom.
So, any shout outs you want to give out here?
I'd like to thank my mother for having such a wonderful kid. I'm totally kidding. That was a joke.
Okay, go for it.
I'd like to thank my mother first and foremost because she's awesome. I'd like to thank the creative process. On the one hand, I'd say I'd like to thank my friends, but I kind of stopped talking to them when I started writing the script because I cut everything else off except for this script.
Well, they're still there.
They're still there. I'd like to thank the friends that were supportive beforehand. Thank you. You were great.
You know, people have to understand artists. Sometimes you do need that alone time, and it's nothing personal, but it's just the way you get your focus. Because I do it
Exactly.
now when I paint. I need to be alone, you know. So, nothing personal, friends of Miss Valerie.
Oh, let's see. I could thank the people who gave me money for it. That is going
your
in the
film.
fund. I'd like to thank my mother. I'd like to thank everyone who gets me birthday presents. I'd like to thank, one of my friends gave me $50. I'd like to thank Dimitri Chachopoulos on the air. Thank you for your donation.
Oh, that was nice
it's
of him.
deeply appreciated.
That's good.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Cool.
He's kind of mad at me right now, but he's wonderful.
He'll forgive you.
Hopefully.
So Milwaukee, it's the close of my show. Everyone have a very fun and safe weekend, and take care.
Take care.